Welcome to In-Game Chat for Saturday, January 6th, 2018. It is Season 12, Episode 1. I'm Scott.
I'm RJ.
And I'm Matt.
Welcome to the show, everybody. If you'd like to get in touch with us, our phone number is 334-272-9228, 334-272-9228. Check out ingamechat.net for all the links to get in touch with us. Just go there, and you can find everything that I'm about to tell you. Our Twitter, In-Game Chat. Our Facebook, In-Game Chat. Email us, everyone, at ingamechat.net. All those links are right there at our website. We are streaming right now. Link is there at our website again. Ingamechat.net is just really where you need to go to do any of this stuff.
You want to order a pizza? In-Game Chat.
We could put a pizza link on there somehow. I'm sure we could. I don't think the pizza folks would mind us one bit if we did that. So, yeah. We're streaming on Twitch. If you don't know what Twitch is, just go to ingamechat.net and click on the link that says Twitch, and you'll be able to watch us live while we broadcast. On the left-hand side of the screen, there's a box full of ways to get in touch with us. So all of that stuff. There's a chat room with Twitch, so you can join in the chat room and just discuss whatever is being discussed in there, usually.
Help direct the conversation sometimes.
Yeah, it sometimes does. They usually have their own conversation in there.
True.
While we're talking about whatever. So before we get further into conversation itself, let me go ahead and do the clapboard real quick like.
I gotta say 12, huh? Season 12.
Yeah, we just started Season 12. We finished 11 years of doing this thing, and now we're working on our 12th year.
Where's the time go, man?
I've been saying that for the past 20.
So, and, all of those years have not been, and obviously we're going to go into more of this week after next. There is no show next week. So keep that in mind. No show next week. I'm out of town. I will be in San Antonio. I almost said Seattle. I will be in San Antonio.
PAX.
Yeah, for PAX South. And there is no show next week. The week after next, on the 20th, will be our, as you noticed on the thing here, it's $4.99. 500th episode coming up on the 20th, and we'll talk more about that. But we weren't always in the radio. We stopped doing the radio for a while.
We're doing the couch.
We did the couch. We did
the
ASF.
We did the trailers out at ASF for a while.
Trailers
we did inside ASF for a while.
Yeah. On stage. We were on stage. No one saw us, but we were on stage.
Where else did we do? And then we did it at my house for a good while. And it was basically on and off. We weren't even doing it every week. It was like, we want to do a show this week? We'll do a show this week. So we weren't really keeping it consistent. It's one of the things radio's brought to us is consistency.
Schedule.
Cracking the whip of like, you got to do it.
Yeah.
Routine.
I was saying, since you're going to San Antonio, any thoughts of hitting that pizza place we talked about?
Right now, no.
Not now?
But
Okay.
that'll
Wrong
change.
answer.
Well, I say right now, no, because number one, I'm not hungry. Right now, none of that stuff sounds particularly inviting for me at the moment, but that will change when I get out there, because I am looking forward. Seattle is a different beast. I don't go to Seattle for the food. When I go to PAX, obviously I'm going for PAX, but Seattle and San Antonio have their pluses and minuses and that sort of thing. So Seattle, there's something completely different there. And if you can understand what my giggle is, you might know what that is. But San Antonio, food, man. See, I'll tell you what, Seattle temperature, weather-wise, in August, Seattle is fantastic to go to. And San Antonio, man, the food in San Antonio is just fantastic.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to that, and not necessarily the one that RJ's talking about, but there's a giant pizza at Big Lou's Pizza in San Antonio. It's really is humongous, and if I can get a group, we'll go knock that thing out. I honestly will. Now, last year when I went, I got sick.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I came down with it had to have been the flu or something I came down with. And I got it. I started feeling ill Saturday night. And woke up in the middle of Saturday night with it, and I was like, "Oh, this is bad." And
Time it couldn't have been worse. I mean,
yeah, it was horrible because my flight was going to leave on Monday, and so I was awake in the middle of the night, back and forth Saturday night, and then finally Sunday, I checked to see where the nearest drugstore was, and there was one. There was just across the street there was this mall that's across the street from where the hotel was,
Right.
and I ducked out there and picked up my supplies. I wanted to pick up a thermometer to see if I'm running fever because I could easily feel like I was, and all the necessary things that I was going to need, plus a bunch of liquids like Gatorade and orange juice and that sort of thing
Right.
that I was going to have. And my Sunday of the con was spent entirely in my hotel.
but I was about to say, in Sunday, like the finale, when they all the
Sunday's the last day of it, so I spent the
so-
entire Sunday in my hotel room recuperating and just resting and sleeping and waking up and taking medicine and going back to sleep and waking up, taking medicine, going back to sleep, and then watching the Royal Rumble and then taking medicine and then going back to sleep.
priorities.
The Royal Rumble was in San Antonio. It was down the street, man. Earlier, when I had gotten there, I think on a Thursday, and when I had gotten there on Thursday, I actually started looking for tickets to the Rumble. I was like, you know what, that'll be a good thing to do on Saturday night. It's in town. It's one of their four big pay-per-views that they do every year.
Right.
I'll go see the Royal Rumble. It's right down the street, and I did run into Xavier Woods. I ran into him on the show floor. He was signing autographs and checking out things on the show floor, but that was on Saturday before I got hit with this stuff, and then it was just miserable. And Monday, my flight didn't leave until late, and the fantastic folks at that hotel, and I want to say it was the Marriott. It was the Marriott on the Riverwalk. The fantastic woman at that hotel, there's a checkout time you're supposed to have. But I had developed a relationship with her earlier when I had gotten there. Just be nice to these people. That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
Just be nice. And, had a nice, good back and forth with her. And I said, I'm so sorry. I'm really sick. And I know checkout time is at such and such time. But if there's any way that you can extend, my plane doesn't leave until like 6 p.m. And I was like, if there's any way that we can, that you can, extend, if there's a fee I got to pay, that'll, a penalty fee for staying late, just put it on there. And she said, well, what's a good time? And I said, I don't know, my flight's at 6. She says, 4 o'clock okay? I was like, sure. So I didn't have to be out of my hotel room at like 10 a.m. So
Whoa.
yeah. Well, checkout's like at, I think 10.
I'm usually thinking noon.
It's either 10 or 11. But she backed it up to 4 for me.
Okay, yeah, that's
And
good
I was
then.
really grateful for that. And like I said, I spent the majority of Monday in my hotel sleeping again until I could get up the strength to start packing everything. It was hard. Travel when you're sick is the worst thing in the world. And then I came home and I was supposed to go to work the next day, but I couldn't because I still had a fever. So that was, I didn't go back to work until Thursday. It was really, really bad. Luckily, I came down with something earlier this week, and I'm hoping that will be my immunity to get through this trip without any problem.
Yeah, I was about to say this can't happen again.
I did not come down with the flu, but I came down with like a cold or something, and I've been dealing with it ever since. I felt Monday I was going to bed. I was like, that feels a little weak. I don't like this. I don't like what I'm feeling here. And then I woke up Tuesday. I was like, there it is. There's the stuff. That's bad. So, yeah. I've been dealing with that all week, but trying to get over it. It's kind of been going around here at the radio station, which is a horrible place to get sick at because it just spreads like a...
Because everyone's talking the same thing.
Yeah, it spreads like a kindergarten class. It just... Everybody touches everything and puts Yeah, it gets everywhere.
Look, and we've seen some of the stuff that's in that file cabinet I'm looking at right across the way right here. Butter. Yeah, yes, folks. Butter.
Oddly enough, the guy that uses that stuff, he's fine. Smokes packs a day. Dude's fine. Dude has no problem. In fact, by the way, that thing's completely clean over there, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, that stopped a long time ago.
All right.
But yeah, he's totally fine, you know? It's like when I talk to James, and I'm like, oh, James is sick. He's like, well, you don't drink enough. Alcohol will kill that stuff right out. You didn't drink more.
No, that's true. I mean, one of the best remedies my folks ever gave me was a hot toddy.
Yeah, those. I could use one of those right now.
You just
too.
need to be well pickled.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I understand. So.
And that, especially at a radio station where your voice is what gets you here.
Yeah.
You don't want that affected by anything.
It's definitely not
COVID
our
will
looks.
Definitely mess it up. Mm-hmm.
No, it's not the looks, definitely. It's when we're on camera on the internet. So, anyway, that's kind of what I've been going through the week, but I have been able to play some games. We don't have a lot of news here. I was going through it, and there's just little bits and pieces here. I mean, seriously, I have highlighted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've highlighted 6 articles. That is it for news. So
I put something in our group chat this morning. I found out that Battlefront 2 just got a patch. And not the one that just released, but the 2005 Battlefront 2. So the one that Pandemic did back, 12 years ago, 13 years ago, they just patched it. It's the second patch in a few months because it got patched again in October for the first time. It's just like little things to allow, because in 14 they took down the online service to play multiplayer online. So the new patch allows it to get back and have some kind of online service through GOG or Steam, either one, which is really nice. So people are still able to play that game. And then the one that just got released yesterday, the patch was basically just like system, update little things to make it run better on systems and stuff. Yeah. But I think it's interesting how, we get Disney and EA flack, and rightly so on a lot of things, but how, and you see like little things like that, how they support some of these older games. Like when Knights of the Old Republic got, released and then patched, like a huge, like 2 gig patch for, KOTOR 2 and stuff like that, like years after the games came out. And like, because they were on the original Xbox. We're like 3 generations later or so, 2 generations later. But so to me, it's kind of neat how
it's nice to still be shown support.
Because that's one of the hard things is like you grow up on some games and you love some games, and then time moves on, but some games are you worry about becoming just vaporware in a way, where they just disappear because you can't. It's not like I could go to a store in the mall and buy a copy of some of these older games I really like.
Right.
So I'm glad that we have some places that archive these games, so I can still go back and play them, and then make them where I don't have to keep my old 786 or whatever, like my old Pentium 2 computer to play these games. So I think that's very fascinating.
Yeah, definitely different when you're playing a Sega Genesis or a classic
if you can find
NES
an
or
old,
something like that.
Yeah, if you can find an old NES.
Dreamcast.
I love the Dreamcast.
Mine still works, thank goodness, and I've been able to play a lot of old titles because of that. But computer-wise, I can see, that's going to be a little more difficult.
As you keep on going, some of these older games that I grew up on, like MechWarrior 2 or Fallout, stuff like that, unless they are available on Steam or GOG or some of these other places, not all of them are. I mean, luckily Steam does have a good library of older games I could go back to and still revisit some memories and everything. But if I want to play the original MechWarrior 2, unless I have the discs, I'm out of luck.
Yeah, forget it. Yeah.
And it's sad that this is stuff that people worked hard on. This is things that people love, have memories of, all this kind of stuff, and it just evaporates, so to speak. Yeah. So if we when we find publishers that are willing to support that, I laud them. Yeah.
And with the titles that are not being updated like that, you can always hope for a remake. If as always, the demand is high for it.
Yeah,
they'll try to make a remake of it.
But I mean, like, there's like some old, like Karateka or Karateka, however you want to pronounce it. Back in the Apple II days. Or there was one game that I remember when I was a kid called Windwalker. And it was like an Asian game where you people ransack your village in Japan, and then like you learn karate to go avenge them and all this kind of stuff. But like I think it was Origin.
Sounds like a movie plot. I remember something like that.
Yeah, I mean they borrowed heavily from all this stuff, but like trying to find that or some of the old stuff that I used to like spend hours in front of my old Apple IIgs or Apple IIc. Staring at the Commodore. I mean the computer monitor, and just, some of that's just gone. Forever, just only to be relived in my memories. Which is a shame.
Speaking of remakes, there is talk of a Burnout Paradise.
Is it now just talks, or do they confirm? I thought it was more of a confirmation.
There is no confirmation. No,
okay.
There's no confirmation from EA. EA has not said a thing about this, which is why
cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Burnout Paradise is getting a PS4 version, and it's going to be released in Japan on March 16th. Though this may seem very specific, it's undoubtedly a sign that Burnout Paradise will see release on new consoles all over the world around the same time. The Japanese listing was spotted, but only for PS4, which isn't really a surprise. However, in December, a Brazilian site spotted a PS4 and Xbox One listing for Burnout Paradise in the database of a local supplier. The game was listed for a March 1st release, which would make Japan's March 16th date more plausible. One thing to note is that the words HD Remaster don't appear in the Brazilian listing, only in the Japanese one. EA has not revealed its intentions to remaster Burnout Paradise or any of the many requested games in its back catalog with that in mind. And considering we haven't heard any official word about it from EA, we could be looking at a simple re-release. Re-releases are typically straight ports on new hardware with little done to enhance them. But, March is pretty close, so we'll see how that pans out.
All right, so when they did Burnout Paradise for the PC, with Big Surf Island... Like, not all of the stuff that you could get on the console for DLC was ported over.
No, it wasn't. Big Surf did not make it to the PC.
Yeah, I don't think now, because I got the Ultimate Box, Toy Box Edition, whatever. But, like, I don't think the movie cars, I don't think they're in that. There was, like, one funky way you had to go through, I think, Amazon.
There was a way you had to go to get them in there. They were not included in the Toy Box if you bought it off of Origin. You could buy. You had to buy the Toy Box off of Origin. You had to have the base game from Origin. You couldn't buy the base game PC wise through Amazon
or Steam.
Or Steam. No, because it had all been moved over to Origin. They didn't. I think at what time they did though, but I don't remember. But then to get the unlocks, you had to buy that through Amazon. The add-on packs through Amazon.
It was just this weird convoluted way of doing it that. Because I had it on the Xbox 360, and I loved them. I liked that DeLorean, or whatever they called it. The Knight Rider car, or those were fun. The Ghostbusters, Ecto one. I enjoy that. Now, I know you're really big into the Burnout. Did you like Paradise?
I did, yeah.
Or did you prefer the old classic way?
I think the more I played of Paradise...
the open world versus the just track.
Yeah, it's a good question. I'm not exactly sure. I think at the time I made myself sort of not necessarily enjoy it, but I just came to terms with the fact that this is it. I'm not going to get that feature that everybody else wanted, that non-open world structure. I like the open world structure benefited itself in the best way when you were online with friends.
Yeah.
And you guys were just all over that city together.
But if you're just by yourself doing it...
but when you're by yourself doing it, it's not that bad either, especially when there's a lot to do, because there was a ton of stuff to do at every intersection. But eventually, once you got down to the things, and especially when you got done, there was very little to do other than race around and jump and do that other stuff. Sort of Big Surf Island gave you more options to use that with. But I think... when I look back on it, I prefer the mapped out routes.
Yeah.
Did you say your biggest gripe with it was having to literally drive to every location you had to go to? Because it was open world that way?
Yeah,
like if you had a race like clear across town, you had to drive.
There.
Yeah,
there were no all the way over
there were no
fast travel.
There were no fast travel things to get you there. You had to drive over there, and if you set a waypoint, there were no marks in front of you telling you, "Hey, you're on the right path" or anything like that. Mm-hmm. It was just the street. Every time you would come up on an intersection, the street signs would be up here saying you're getting closer, and the one you needed to take would be blinking. And so you would have to make sure you took that thing. It was never, they didn't.
The navigation through it wasn't as good.
Yeah, the navigation wasn't as good. I didn't necessarily mind. Again, there were so many things to do that there was always something nearby worth doing.
See, to me, Burnout Paradise, out of any open world game that I remember, that one seemed like just out of the box, like over, like too much of just like, oh my gosh, what do I do? Because everything's right there, That one, like some open world games, I don't mind, the open worldness or the fact that, you're doing this or you're doing that, but I don't know, something about Burnout Paradise, just, I felt over inundated with just things, and everywhere there's things, and like, so I didn't know where do I start, where do I, it was tougher for me.
I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. But looking back on it, I missed those parts that were there in the previous games. I'll often go back and watch not playthroughs, but just gameplay from the previous games. Just watch those again, and still miss my stuff. But,
yeah, I liked steering your car into the crash breakers, into
Yeah, and that was a crash mode was something that they didn't have, or that a lot of people. I didn't, again, I guess I had resigned myself to come to terms with the fact that this is what I have, let's make the best of it, rather than this is what I have, I don't like it, I'm not going to play it. Right. Because I love Burnout. And so if this is the Burnout that I'm going to get, this is the Burnout that I'm going to play. Mm-hmm. And I adapted myself to play it the way that they were wanting me to play it. And I enjoyed playing it that way. Crash mode, I didn't do a lot of. Again, crash mode, luckily, didn't have really anything to do with your progress.
Yeah.
There were parts of, if you wanted to, like, platinum the thing, then it would. But crash mode was a score mode, and that was the most fun about it, was to compare with my friends where they were on the leaderboards and try and beat their crash record on that particular road. So I enjoyed that, but the method of doing that I really didn't enjoy. The other thing I had a problem with, now you talk about driving to intersections to start competitions and stuff like that. They had time trial modes at certain intersections, which required you to have a specific car. It's like, you got to beat the fastest time in this specific car. Run this burning lap is what it's always called. And if you didn't have the right car, it's like, hey, you need to go change your car and come back. Why? just get. I want to do this run. So just give me that car. Go into loading, put the car in, and then let me do the time trial. Why do I have to run back, change cars, then come back to this point to do it?
If you had left and got your car and came back, the time would the thing have started without you or something like that?
No. It didn't start. It just wouldn't activate. If you tried to activate it, it said, you've got the wrong car. Go to visit a junkyard, get this particular car and run this. So it just wouldn't start without and that's the only place that it did that. You had to have specific cars for specific burning laps. And that was kind of annoying. I'm like, well, just give me the car. I tell you, leaving it open world and the way that they did it, again, because I had just resigned myself to play it the way they wanted me to play it. I did learn that map. I easily learned that map. When I knew that it was taking me from one point of the map to the other one, especially towards the end of the game, I knew how to get there. I knew where the turns were, and when I didn't, or when I messed up or got behind, I would do it again and go over it again and go over it again. And I knew it. I knew that map. The ability of free roam to let you just run around and do whatever and not have that fast travel option, annoying, yes, but I did learn that map. And for a fan of Burnout, for someone like me, I was fine with that. I was okay with that. But some people have a problem, and I don't deny their issue with the game. I can see where they had that issue. So yeah. Let's see. What else we have? Well, yeah. So there is the possibility of a Burnout Paradise remaster. I am down for it if it is. If
you'd
it's
pick
on,
it up?
Yeah, I don't know where I would pick it up. I don't know if the PC is going to get one, or more than likely, knowing me, I'd pick up all 3 versions at some point in time.
Yeah.
Because that's just, I do have all 3 versions of Paradise. I've got a PC version, a PS3, and a Xbox 360 version of Paradise. Got the autographed copy up in the house. So
Yeah.
You do.
But yeah, I'm down for whichever. I don't know which way I'll go. Probably find out where friends are going to be, because that's where we had the most fun, and where I had the most fun beating other people's times and records and scores and things like that. I'd look for those things. The PC purchase would only be to get the best resolution, the best look I could out of it, if they even go that far, which they may not. When you're working with an HD remaster and not building it from the ground up, you have limits.
Yes.
There is no, look at Bayonetta. I don't necessarily know that the graphical fidelity improved. I know that they opened up so you could have as much resolution as you wanted and as much frames per second as you wanted, which that would be awesome. If I can get as much frame per second on a Burnout Paradise rather than locked to the 30, I think, or maybe even 60. But anyway, whatever it was locked to, oh man, that would be fantastic on PC. So, but I don't necessarily know that there'll be any improvements in the way it looked. Maybe a little bit of sharpening on the textures and on the anti-aliasing and
sharpening
stuff like that.
Motion is all I can think of
Yeah,
right
just
now.
something a little bit better there that might not be that much of an improvement, but we'll see.
All right, Criterion did the VR mission in Battlefront.
Yeah.
What would you think if Criterion did a PSVR Burnout Paradise? Like if they did, here's Burnout Paradise for PS, 4, and look, here's VR support.
It'd be interesting to see.
Would you do that?
Well, I would try it. Yeah. I mean, there is no question of if they release this, will I buy it? Because that's going to happen. So there is no question that if they have add-ons to this, like a VR mode, will I try that? Of course, I'll try that. But to make it nothing but VR or anything like that, no. There's no way. I don't see. And we've said this before, and we're going into a different topic here, but VR has limitations. And VR right now has the limitations of you can't play for a very long period of time.
True.
It hurts. It's heavy. It's hot. And you get eye strain. Yeah. And I'm not. Let me be clear on this. When I say for a very long time, understand that I will spend 6 hours in front of a gaming machine. I will spend 4 to 5 to 6 hours running a raid in Destiny or doing whatever. I will spend that amount of time in front of my machine playing the game. So in that regard, you're looking at around something like that, 3 hours or so, and then it's like, hey, I need to take a break. Depending on how much it is requiring of you.
Yeah, how intense the game is. Because
right.
Before it says in the chat room, it says VR driving with the intent to crash sounds like it could get dizzying fast.
Yeah. The room specific VR, like the Vive and the Oculus, where you can move around, those are going to be less because you are actually exerting a lot more energy than just moving a controller, than manipulating a controller. So those will be less times. But things like Batman or things like Resident Evil is a little bit different. You can spend more time in there, but there does come a point where it's like, hey, I need to take this off, take a break for a minute, because your eyes hurt, it gets hot. And especially if you're standing, it's like, let me sit down for a while.
Yeah.
So it depends on how that's all
works. And stuff gets hectic, all this stuff you got to take in like that. Yeah,
it does. So I am not opposed to them doing that. I definitely would try it as just maybe a mode,
like a crash mode in VR.
Well, honestly, it would be great if they set up something in VR where you could look down at Paradise City. So you could look down, you could zoom in, you could go closer to it, and you could set up crash junctions. Put a car here, and then upload it online for people to play. In some sort of a VR environment of where you can control or build the city or build a track or build anything like that, where you can set all those parameters and then upload it for basically make maps. And not for racing, because racing is you go from here, and you got cars. There's really there's not too, and especially with how many races were in the game itself, you're going to find too many variations, regardless of how many people you have on that thing to build it. They squeezed every last drop out of that thing. But crash junctions, which is from previous games, to set those up might be a cool thing to let you do. I'm not exactly sure. But anyway, we need to take a break. When we come back, we'll go over games that we played, kind of over the holiday, New Year holiday. We had the day off on Monday. But we'll go over some of the games that we played. All the music this week comes from not necessarily puzzle games, but it started with puzzle games, and then it expanded into some of those freeware public games, puzzle games that you would play on an old computer, and it just kind of spawned from there. Where it was like, let me get some classics of classics, and so in this set, I've got stuff like Commander Keen and Jazz Jackrabbit.
Jazz Jackrabbit?
Yeah, I've got that in there. I originally started my search for stuff with the Sega Genesis title Columns because I really loved that game. Yeah. And that kind of opened it up, and I was like, what do I remember playing a lot of that was like Columns? Oh, Zuma. So I looked up Zuma. Luxor. So I looked up Luxor, and so that's kind of where it went for some of the things that you just sit down. Like if you found a computer in school or your computer at home,
it might have.
You're like, let me see if they've got this.
Doom,
and sure enough, they had. Doom we've done before.
I know.
So I didn't pick Doom.
That's a big one.
But I do have this first one is from Luxor. So we'll be back with more in-game chat right after this. And welcome back to In-Game Chat. I'm Scott along with RJ and Matt here. This is music from Prince of Persia.
Yep. The Jake Gyllenhaal version?
No, he probably wasn't born at the time, or maybe was just I don't know what year Prince of Persia actually came out. A long time ago.
It was 80s.
Yeah.
I'm going to say around 86.
RJ, our fact checker, is looking things up right now.
Mm-hmm.
What are you looking up right now?
When the game came out.
All right, find out when the game came out. Mm-hmm. Tell me what year that was.
89.
Oh, 89.
He was
off by a few.
He was 9 years old.
Oh, wow.
So, anyway, welcome back to the show. Going over the games that we played, because there really isn't a whole lot of news to look at here. I played Destiny, obviously. It's, just the thing that I do now is play Destiny. And I also played more of Assassin's Creed Origins. All
right. How far are you in that?
I did the wife mission, where you meet up with her.
Yeah.
And it sort of opens up because, like, at first you think there's 5 people you got to take out, and then it's like, oh wait, no,
there's another row.
Yeah, it's like, it's a kind of a network of things.
Because you're like, oh, well, that was quick.
Oh, I knew there was going to be more.
Yeah,
that's how these things turn out. But
there's always someone else to kill.
Yeah. So that happened, and I went and did the first of those, which I think was the Scarab.
Okay. Yeah.
which I like how that played out. I really enjoyed.
Where did you kill him at?
Well,
because there's one where you have to go to a special location.
Well, don't tell me anymore.
Okay.
Because you don't know which one. You don't know which one I did.
No, I don't.
Find out for me first, and then I can tell you. Or then you can tell me.
Actually, did it make you change your outfit?
No.
Then you haven't done it yet.
Okay. No, that was not it. But I like the way the story played out. It was actually it was a good story. It's like, hey, you've got to go here, but it wasn't just go here and kill dude. It was go here and help this person out, and then he'll give you information about what you need, and then you get the information which directs you into some other location, says then you'll get more information about what you need. And then it just kind of did this whole storyline panned out until I got to the point where I had to make the assassination, and I did. And I really enjoyed how that turned out. Unfortunately, I'm not drawn in by any of the side quests so far. Okay.
There are some side quests that really had me going.
They're just not there with me yet. Like, I'll see some things on the map. I'll see like the papyrus things when you have to solve the riddles that they give you to find out where the location on the map is that they want you to go. I'll always try and find those. I may not necessarily solve them because they're off in some other part of the map. I'll wait till I get over there. But I always look for those. When I'm riding on the roads and I see one of those statues to destroy, I'll pull over.
I'll always stop and
I'll pull over and knock it off and do that. But the side quests where I don't know any of the other side quests that I see, I really kind of they aren't tempting me.
I mean, typically in side quests, there's something that benefits you, like XP, something to build up your character with. Is there no benefit to doing these for you?
No. You'll get all that. You'll get XP and you have chance for loot and that sort of thing.
Gear.
Yeah, I mean they're all meaningful as far as what they give you when you do them, but they are not attracting me. They're not pulling me in for that. I see them and I'm like, I really don't want to do that.
So there's nothing that tells you what you can get if you do a bunch of side quests.
No, there's nothing in there as far as like what you'll earn for doing that, or at least not that I know of. I could be wrong, Matt.
I think that you have a chance of getting this tight, like a legendary or a.
Does it tell you that?
I think they do.
Okay.
Like when you
when I hover over on the map, they don't give me any indication.
No, but like when you go under the quest line,
they still don't give me any indication of what I'll get.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, usually something like that. For me, it was always something to build your character up with, or something you get for doing them all, or something like that. But if there's no indication of that, then I can see why I wouldn't be very attracted to it.
Yeah, the side quests on this are just not. But I'm enjoying the main story, and I like playing through that. So, and that's what I'll be. That's kind of what I'll be focusing on. Hasn't sent me to a tomb yet to do anything other than the first one that the first one I did.
Yeah.
And then that's it. It hasn't sent me anywhere to do. Are those side quests that I just have to do on my own, or does it eventually send you?
I think the tombs are for the most part are just you stumble upon them, you see a tomb, like when you get to the pyramids.
Yeah.
Those will be, you just all right. Here's a pyramid. Oh, I could explore it. Let me explore it, and that would be the quest of Definitely, when you see a tomb, explore it because it'll give you an extra ability point.
Yeah.
And also, there's like little glowy, gold-looking rocks that you could pick up, and you'll need those.
Okay.
As much as you can find.
I did stumble upon one of the, what are they called? The rock formations in sand that align the stars with.
Yes.
I did stumble upon one of those.
Okay.
And so I'll love to do those when I come across them. Those are fantastic to do.
I think there's 12 total.
Yeah, but these things where, help so-and-so find out, who killed this or go do this or do whatever. Yeah. I'm just not down for that right now. I think the fetch quest of Destiny has turned me off of doing other fetch quests at the moment.
Yeah, well, and not all of the side quests will be fetch quests.
They won't, but they don't tell me what they are, obviously. Yeah. It's not going to give me some
all you see is that little white question mark on the map, and you go explore, and then they're like, "Oh, hey, blah 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 blah," and you're like,
"Well, I'll explore the white question mark. I'll explore because then it'll open up and tell me what that thing is. Plus, it puts a location on the map for me, instead of a question mark to know what's there. So, I mean, I'm okay with some of that stuff, but right now I'm involved in the story. I don't care about the side quests, and that's going to be my thing for the time being, unless that changes, and it very well may. But right now I'm just enjoying doing the story and going through that.
Have you been avenging other assassins?
No.
Okay.
No.
It gives you extra XP.
I see them on the map, and
I usually do
half the names I don't recognize.
They're just usernames.
I know, but I don't know where are they from my friends list, or are they just people?
Just random.
Okay.
Random. I think from my understanding, it's just randos who happen to die there, when they were playing through the game.
Yeah.
So I'm sure someone's playing through and like, oh, bullet food.
Yeah.
Let me avenge this guy because
kind of like a Neo. When you have just a bloody spot where someone died, you want to challenge this person, and then you have some random screen name pops up, fight the person, or in this case, avenge them.
Yeah, it'll either be like here's a like either a person or like sometimes like I'll do it and like it's like an alligator took them out. Like so whoever this random person in the world was playing through got killed by an alligator, and so now I'm avenging them, and it gives you extra XP, which is not bad.
Yeah,
because that'll unlock abilities.
Yep. So I've been Assassin's Creed Origins. That's where I'm at there. I haven't played anything else. Assassin's Creed Origins.
You're still in Alexandria?
I am still in. Well, it's sending me. Obviously it's sending me now because I've unlocked these other 4 people, and their locations are all over the area. Yeah. So this first one that it sent me to was I can't remember where it sent me. It was outside of Alexandria, but
was it in the north of it?
No, it was in the south of it.
Okay, in the south of it. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm still doing that. Alexandria seems to be like the home base right now. So these other places are like these satellite places that I'm going to assassinate these guys. And it really, one of them is in Giza, so I'll come across the pyramids. But
there's one side quest that you could do that's like basically solve a murder mystery of like.
Well, I had to do no. I was getting inside of I was sneaking inside of this was for a main story quest. I had to sneak inside, and there was no lock, and so I had to investigate the different places and found the key up on the bookshelf and things like that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that felt a little bit like, I wonder if these are some of these murder mystery things or whatever it was that I had to, because there was something else I had to do once. Mm-hmm. There was something else that made me have to investigate.
There's other times you'll have to investigate the area.
Huh.
In either a side or a main quest. You'll have to let me investigate around this area.
Yeah, I want to say there wasn't a main quest of the one I was doing because they had caught this guy and they'd cut out his tongue.
Yeah.
And I think I was doing some investigation to find out where he was. I can't remember what it was, but it felt like it was one of those investigation things. Mm-hmm. Which, again, I enjoy those. Mm-hmm. I do enjoy those. Maybe I'll stop and start hitting up these side quests just to see what they are and then cancel them if I don't like them.
True.
Just cancel out of them if I don't like them. Maybe I'll do that.
Or, just don't, and just continue on and just, go to your quest log and just select something else. Because, my quest, since I've beaten the game, my quest log is now just all the side quests that I've started but I haven't finished. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going back to, occasionally just still exploring, still looking at stuff, and then just randomly, here's one.
Oh, okay. So I can just pick those up, and I don't have to do them, but I can just pick them up, and they remain in my... Well...
No rush.
Yeah, well, no, that's a thing to where I can just put that there, and then anytime...
Do it at your leisure.
Yeah, all right. I might do that. I may do that. I might do that. That's it. That's all I played.
Yeah.
What about you, Matt?
I played a little bit of Pony Island.
Multal just gifted that to me, so I'm going to check that out.
I don't know what I was expecting.
It wasn't that. For me. Don't spoil anything for me.
It was crazy. I didn't beat it yet. It's a puzzle game.
Okay.
So there's still some puzzles in there and stuff like that, and I think I'm stuck on one where I'm having to you're fighting. Yeah, it's just. It's weird. I was like, this has turned out different than I was expecting. So I did that. Of course, Destiny 2. Looking forward to a new elusive target popping up soon in Hitman. So that'll be good.
Okay.
And I got the DLC for Human Revolution. No, Mankind Divided. Deus Ex.
Deus Ex.
They had the super cheap sale for.
I didn't buy anything from the Steam sale.
That's the only thing I got.
I did not buy anything off the Steam sale.
I neither.
I was leaning towards getting the Hitman, the mission for that.
I've barely logged on to Steam at all, honestly.
Yeah.
In a long time.
But I'm playing through the DLC for Deus Ex, and I forgot how much I enjoyed that game.
Yeah.
It was solid. I'm I like, the sneakiness, because I finished System Rift, I think that was like the first DLC, and apparently I had an extra mission already in there that I didn't know that I had. So I have like 3 extra missions, and I did 2 of them. And the next one I need to do is where he goes to prison. So I really enjoy that. I mean, the hacking, the crouching, everything. I really like that world. Have you seen the trailer for Alita Battle Angel?
Yes.
Those bad guys look like something straight out of Deus Ex. Straight out of it. I'm like, what the heck? All right, she looks weird. But, I mean, like, the bad guys look, I think I fought him in the first game kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Or, I was talking to someone today about Blade Runner 2049.
Right.
Love that movie. I can't say how much it was a fantastic, wonderful movie. The soundtrack was amazing, but a lot of that soundtrack was like, oh man, it's hitting me in that human revolution, mankind divided feels right here. So very cyberpunky. So I'm digging it. So really, that's actually, and a while back ago, I backed the Broken Sword 5 on Kickstarter. And
they finally released something for that?
Well, they released it on PlayStation Vita for I guess last month or something like that for the PS Plus. And so I'm like, I have it on my PC already, but I haven't started it yet. So I put it on my Vita, and I've been playing. I started playing through that, and I'm like, oh, this is really good. I want to go back and 'cause I never beat the 3rd, and I haven't played the 4th. So that made me go back and revisit the 3rd game, because I did the first 2, and I absolutely loved those.
Yeah, I haven't been signing into Steam because I've been using my PC a ton. I sit here and talk to you about Destiny and Origins.
Yeah, because we're always on PC.
Both on PC, but Destiny's on Battle.net and Assassin's Creed is on Origin. Is on Uplay.
Yeah.
So but I just haven't logged in Steam for anything really.
And I beat the DLC for Battlefront 2, the campaign DLC.
Yeah, for the Last Jedi lead-in.
Yeah, Last Jedi lead-in. Which, all right, cool. All right, it tied right into the movie.
All right.
RJ?
Well, we'll get to RJ in a minute. We only got about 3 minutes
Wait.
before the top of the hour here. So
Top of the hour to you.
But yeah, when we do come back, we will talk to RJ and find out what he's played. Not much in the news that I've got here, so we'll go over some of that. The Steam Award winners, we'll talk about those. Which I don't know, not much to talk about there. Just we went over the list of categories the other week, but now we can tell you who won in those categories and give you the info on that. So we'll talk about that and more as well. I don't have any. See, this PAX South, I think, is not going to be a good one for them.
You don't think so?
No, this is the earliest they have ever had it in the year.
Yeah.
They normally have it at the end of January, beginning of February.
It's going to be cold.
It's not even the temperature. It's the fact that everybody just got done with holidays.
Yeah.
And now they're going to be going away again almost less than a week later, or about a week later. And there's not a lot of people who are going to be able to do that. A lot of the game, this was one of the reasons I pushed all my stuff back, because a lot of companies and stuff have extended vacations, and so I figured they might still be on vacation if we were able to knock it out today instead of do it the week after. And that's the same way with a lot of these companies. I have not, the amount of emails that I've gotten for appointments and stuff has been extremely slim from what I normally get.
We're talking single digit amount?
Oh yeah, less than 10. Less than 10.
Wow.
I would say maybe around 7 to 6 that I've gotten. Of those, one of those I only really recognize, and that's Tiny Build Games. But
what did they do?
They did Speedrunners, and they did Hello Neighbor, and they've done.
I heard that was weird.
Done a lot of them. They've done a lot of games. Final Station, which is also good. Punch, was it Punch School, something like that?
Punch Club?
Punch Club,
yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah. They've done little things like that, but it's really been light as far as the appointments and stuff, and I'm a little bit worried that the show floor is going to be a little light.
Dead.
Well, a little light in exhibitors and a little bit light in visitors as well.
I wonder if that's
real
just
spacious.
the way that PAX South is going to be going.
No, I don't think so, because it increased.
Okay.
It's increased every year that I've gone, but it's never been this soon after the holidays. It is usually much later in the month.
And that's
when they do
right
it.
during it's a federal holiday for us because that's MLK Day.
On Monday?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay.
For what it's worth.
Yeah. That's the date I'll be flying back is on Monday.
All right. Or if you're in this neck of the woods, Robert E. Lee Day.
But yeah, so we'll see how that goes. I'm thinking it's going to be kind of a low turnout on this, both in visitors and in exhibitors. I could be completely wrong, but I don't see a lot of people talking about it. The emails have shown that there's not a lot of people interested in it, or at least not getting the word out to people to say, "Hey, come look at our stuff."
Yeah.
So I do not know what to expect for this. This will be a much different one than I've been to before. So we'll see. Anyway, we're going to take a break. When we come back, more in-game chat on the way. We'll find out what RJ's played. We'll go over some of these news stories here as well. Again, the music this week comes from old games, very old games from a very, very long time ago. And I couldn't use these, or I couldn't say that unless I used this particular track that is in here. So I'm going to play it, and then when we come back, I will tell you what that is.
Guess what it is.
So you get to guess what it is. It's probably very easy to tell. Anyway, remember, old games, and it basically pioneered the old games trend type thing, or it's the grandfather.
Mega Man?
No, it's never. It's always Mega Man. There's always money in the Mega Man.
Stan? Yeah.
We'll be back with more in-game chat after this. And welcome back to In-Game Chat. Scott and RJ here. Matt doesn't understand the importance of time. And that breaks in radio really, when you need to go, if you got to go, you start at the beginning of the break, which is why I went downstairs to refill my coffee.
Right.
And I didn't wait.
I know.
I don't know what he did, but he stood up. I thought he was going to come right after me.
Mm-hmm. Something got his attention, and he
got distracted.
Yeah, and he left.
All right, well.
Look. Mama Nature waits for nobody. Radio breaks included.
Yeah, so. Well, gotta go.
That's right. He'll be back, folks. Don't worry
I know.
about that.
So this song here is from Jazz Jackrabbit. And boy, doesn't it sound like it. I guess. I don't know what Jazz Jackrabbit is supposed to sound like. But the song that we went into break with was from Oregon Trail. So, you've never played that?
I've never played it, but I've always heard that line. I've seen it hundreds of times online. You died of
from
dysentery.
Dysentery, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then I was asking, I was wondering, is it possible to survive?
That's what happened to Matt. He died of dysentery.
I was asking, has anyone ever? Is it possible to survive in that game?
But
I don't have your mic on yet. You weren't here, so you didn't.
Yeah, sorry about that.
You didn't get that privilege. No,
I'm sure it is, but I mean, between the Raiders, the Indians, and the
I haven't played that game in a long time, so I'm not exactly sure. I'm not exactly sure I was even playing it right when I was playing it. So
I do understand the importance of time. I just am bad with the concept. You played it though, right? Back in the day.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it was on all the school computers.
Yeah, because it was edutainment.
I guess so. But I don't. Like I said, I don't even know if I was playing that game right.
Is there a right way to play it?
I have no idea. I didn't care. I was just trying to play the game, see how far I could get and shoot the animals, collect the fur, for trading and whatever else, and hopefully me and my family could make it across the country. So,
did they?
No, I never beat the game. But
no.
When I was looking up music for this, it showed like the track listings were all like crossing this into here, going here, doing this, all this stuff. So. Anyway, welcome back to the show. RJ, what have you played?
Well, for the holiday, I was gearing myself up for a long session of grinding in Destiny 2, but that didn't happen. Seems that...
Why didn't that happen?
Well, it seems that any item that I was looking for was the first drop after every activity I did.
Oh, nice.
Well, that's good, right?
Well, that would concern me. Why did this happen for me earlier when I was looking for the Nameless Midnight?
Yeah.
Never did. Oh, by the way, a second one of those dropped for me later this week as well.
Nice.
But I was looking for certain outfits. See, I have like 3 sets of armor for each of my characters, one for each energy type, one for Arc, one for Solar, one for Void. So I wanted to get a certain one. I wanted the Eco Talon and the Anka Seeker items for my Warlock. So I was going to do the Reminiscence missions for Ikora on the tower, and so I did a mission, got 3 of the medallions, turned them into her, and I had enough to get a Ingram from her. And one of the things that dropped was that helmet I was looking for.
Okay.
So I was like, nice. I don't have to get like 10 Ingrams to unlock the thing with 10 legendary shards and whatnot later on. I don't have to grind this anymore. So okay. So the next thing I wanted was the coat for her, the Anka Seeker. Get that from the Crucible missions. So I had to force myself to go into the Crucible, which, if anybody's watching, no, I'm not really a fan of the Crucible.
You don't do the Crucible stuff.
No, not really. I just do those to get the powerful gear Ingrams to increase my stats.
Yeah, the one time you got to do it per week.
Yeah. So I got there and I did that and had enough tokens again. Went there, turned them in, and no, wait a minute. No, to the back. No, I was in a match and lost. And one of the rewards that dropped was the coat that I was looking for.
Yeah.
So that happened again.
I wish I had that kind of bad luck.
Yeah. So my grinding has been cut down significantly now. So now I'm looking for the final item that I was looking for. I think it was a bond or something I was looking for. Anyway,
okay.
There was another item I was looking for.
What level are you? What level are you?
Light level?
Yeah.
330
Okay.
with my Warlock. I was looking for something else. I think it was a weapon I was looking for, or a bond or something like that.
That is all I lack on my on my Warlock. That's all I lack is a bond. My bond currently sits at 334. So I just need one that's popped at 335 or something that I can infuse and get it to 335. That's it.
For my hunter, it's the cape.
My hunter, I finally got up to 335. I did that this week. My hunter is maxed.
Yeah,
done with my hunter.
It was another chest armor, a different chest armor I was looking for. The Jensam Knight robe from IO. Okay. And I managed to get that one as well.
I have a feeling they're starting something back up on Tuesday. It's either Iron Banner or Faction Rally. I don't know.
It's been a while since Iron Banner. that and the faction rally. What was the problem? Some with the after the DLC they had issues or something, but I haven't seen Iron Banner or faction rally for a while. 'Cause I'm still sitting on 120 of each token from last time.
No, they're gonna put that in there. I think one of those comes back this week, which I won't be able to participate in because I'll be in San Antonio. So I'll have a little bit of time on Tuesday when I get home from work to run stuff or do something. Which is good that I got my hunter up because I'll only want to run my warlock now just to get a bond. To get to 335, and then once I do that, I'm good. I'm maxed out. So
until the next level update. Yeah,
I mean until the next level update, or unless we want to do a raid, or unless we want to do some of the other stuff. Somebody needs help to run through the nightfall or something like that. I can help them out. But
have you started
but
on?
You're on PC now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Have you started on the verse quests in Mercury from Brother Vance?
Yeah, I did about 7 of them.
Because for me, that's what I need to grind is like some of the...
I've wrapped those up, too. I finished all the verses there, and I got that Segura shell.
Is it worth it?
The exotic Segura, which is basically just the shell for your ghost.
Fancy shell, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like that. Is it worth it? I mean, it's worth it to be done with those missions so I can stop getting those stupid resources every time I do events and all that stuff.
No, I'll just keep taking them. I'm doing a lot of strikes to get the... advanced paradox something on there.
Yeah.
But the best weapon I've got from there right now is still Saint 14 shotgun.
The shotgun, yeah. So you ran the Saint 14 mission? I really enjoyed that.
I haven't done that yet. I haven't gotten that quest.
It'll drop for you. It's called a lost verse, actually. So
okay.
You'll know it when you see it, but you have to do at least you have to be done with verse 10 before you get it.
I'll see I'm on 10 now.
Okay, well when you wrap up 10, you should get that one.
But like we were saying before the show, I mean, how often do you use a shotgun? I mean, I don't know about you, RJ, but I mean, in this
one, Saint 14 shotgun, yeah, I'll use that.
Because
full auto, powerful shots each time, just aim low, and by the time you get to the head, they're gone.
Because I mean, I have the Hawthorne's shotgun.
Hawthorne's field shotgun?
Yeah, but I mean, it's either a rocket launcher. I don't even use sword as much as I used to.
Swords are pretty good. I've seen swords used pretty well in the Crucible.
Yeah.
Especially the Quick Fang.
Yes.
But then today I found the Titan's sword, the Crown Splitter.
Yeah.
And I looked at the swing speed on that thing to the point where I looked at it, man, this looks pointless. I mean, it's like...
Is it slow?
It looks very... I haven't even used it, but I could look at the swing speed compared to the other swords I've picked up, and this thing looks very slow. But the impact is really high. So unless you want to stand still or sneak someone from behind, I guess it'd be effective then.
Yeah, but I mean, in Crucible, really the sword's pretty much a one-hit kill anyways.
1, maybe 2, depending on whether or not they've activated their super yet. Yeah, because I found that out the hard way.
True.
Someone activates a super... No matter how many headshots you get, they're still up and running.
Yeah, one more that before they kill you.
Mm-hmm. So,
or in Crucible, I always seem to like as soon as I activate a super, that's when I get hit by the Hunter's Void Arrow. That because the tether because that takes away your super.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I just activated that.
Oh yeah, or Mayhem. That Mayhem, especially because that's another. That's another thing that gets you those gifts.
In Mayhem, I go when I go into Mayhem, I go in with my Void Lock and I just spam. I do the glitch.
Yeah,
that or Nova if it's Bomb. There.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
Yeah, but yeah, after that, since I got done with since I got what I wanted much earlier than I expected, I was playing other things. So I ended up playing blowing the dust off my PS3 and playing some Virtua Fighter 5, a Final Showdown, because I think. One of the groups I'm with was thinking about having a little online session later on this week. Yeah. So start polishing up on my
get that muscle memory
skills.
back.
Yeah, get all those combos under my belt back. And then I tried another a bit of a Pac-Man Championship Edition 2.
Oh yeah.
Try to see updating my scores and see how far down I fall in the leaderboards, and watching some replays of how folks got to 4.5 million, 5 million on some of these mazes and courses, and I'm like, man, there's no way in the world I could do that. Not now. I have to put a whole lot of practice in to get that. And other than that, that's pretty much all I've played this holiday week.
All right. Mm-hmm. So going over to the Steam Awards, these really have no bearing whatsoever. I believe they were voted on by the Steam community, and you're going to hear games that aren't really in your end of the year type awards. Not necessarily always in your end of the year type awards. The Choices Matter winner was The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, which I am willing to agree with on that one.
Yeah.
Mom's Spaghetti Award.
What was that for? Like something
These are
nervous?
games that are. Then there are games that are so intense they elicit a physical reaction. We're talking weak knees, sweaty palms, fear-induced accidents.
The nerve-wracking ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds won that one, which is interesting. I haven't played that game, so I don't know what the experience like that is.
I think if you watched a lot of the Let's Plays of it, I think the goal is like being the last one to survive.
So
it's a constant
intenseness of like.
Yeah, it's a constant reminder of
You're being hunted.
It's fact that there are like 3 people left, and you're one of them. You started out with 150. There's only 3 people left.
Yeah. What do you start out with in that game? You've played it, right, Matt?
In
PlayerUnknown Battleground.
Your clothes.
No. How many people do you start out with?
Yeah, I just said 150, just like a random number. But it is 100.
I mean, that's whenever I played it, it's 100 people.
Okay, is there a max?
100.
Max, okay, max out 100. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've been constantly evading and hiding and scrounging for stuff, and now there's only 3 people left, and the intensity of you being on the brink of being the last one surviving, which doesn't happen very often, I guess. But yeah, I can see the intensity ratcheting up in that one.
The Labor of Love Award went to Warframe. That makes sense. Suspension of Disbelief went to Rocket League. The World is Grim Enough. Let's Just All Get Along. Stardew Valley took home that one.
Aw.
No Apologies went to The Witcher. Not The Witcher 2 or Witcher 3.
The original Witcher.
But the original Witcher. This is the award for the game that you love unconditionally. Does it have faults? Yes. Do other people not understand your love for it? Sure. But there is no guilt here, only pleasure. And that was The Witcher. Defies Description was Gary's mod.
Yeah.
Cry Havoc and Let Slip the Dogs of War, which was the destruction type thing where you just go nuts, and that was Just Cause 3. Took home that one. Haunts
Rocket Cow's band, I swear.
Yeah, Haunts My Dreams. This award is slightly a misnomer because the game doesn't just haunt your dreams; it consumes your thoughts in every waking moment of the day. Counter-Strike Global Offensive took home that one. Souls of Vitruvius. Celebrate the game with the most lovingly rendered character, be it human, alien, anthropomorphic, cat people, or even a piece of produce. That went to Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Oh yeah, that was a really, really nicely rendered people game.
The Whoa Dude 2.0. This is an award for the fear and loathing in Las Vegas of video games. That went to The Evil Within 2 for having some trippy stuff.
Acid trip.
Yeah. I think Pony Island probably would have been up for that one from what I keep hearing.
It was weird.
The best soundtrack went to Cuphead.
Good.
Agreed.
Nice.
And even better than I expected went to Cuphead.
Good.
So there you go. Those were your
Steam
I
Awards.
gave you all copies of that soundtrack, didn't
I already had a copy.
I? Okay.
Yeah.
You, Matt?
No.
Actually,
I'll bring
no.
it to you.
No, that's right. I already had. You were out that week that we did Cuphead all week.
Yeah.
You were in Atlanta, I think, for the Atlanta anime thing. I think that's where you were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
AMA.
So,
AWA.
Oh, AWA.
Yeah. That's where you
AWA?
were for that one.
No, we just call it AWA.
Yeah.
Like
Ah.
no, just no.
Let's see what else in the news. The Kinect is pretty much dead now.
Now, as opposed to when it,
Well, see, they've stopped production of the adapters that use to connect cameras with newer model Xbox Ones. They've stopped the production of those.
Discontinued.
So that is pretty much signaling the death of Kinect. If there was any chance of it even continuing on, it is now done because they are not making those anymore. They are dropping it. And good riddance to bad rubbish, I would say. I still love the fact that I could turn on my Xbox with just a voice command and I could tell it to mute and do all these other things. I love the fact that I could have done that then, although I've set up my room now, at least the bedroom, where all that stuff's voice activated anyway through my Alexa. And I could do that as well with, if I want to have that back again in the other rooms, I could do that as well. So I'm not really sad about it going away.
Okay.
And I still have an Xbox One that has a Kinect with it, so
You can connect it if you need to.
Maybe somewhere down the line, someone will find some other unique use for it. Or
I think more people are doing stuff with hacks on the computer end than with actually the system that is intended.
Well, it's all switched to VR now.
True.
The gimmick now is VR. So, and Microsoft has something in the works for VR. In fact, PAX Seattle this past year, I messed with their augmented reality for Windows, and that was fantastic. I enjoyed it very much, especially the way that worked, because no longer did you need cameras in your room looking at you. You had cameras on the device itself that interacted with what was in front of it, watching those, and so it knew where you were at all times. You did not have to stay within a boundary, So it was, I really liked where they were going with that. So I look forward to that becoming a more regular type of thing.
Yeah, if we could cut the cord on VR, that would be...
That's, again, there were the 3 hurdles of VR.
Yeah.
The equipment, the cost, and...
the tech, I guess?
I don't necessarily know of the tech. I think the adoption of the adoption of it. The equipment, the cost... I think equipment has... And by the way, cost is one specific thing, the price of the stuff.
Yeah.
The equipment embodies a lot of issues that need to be fixed. So if you were to bullet point these 3 things, equipment would be up there, but under that would be headset, cord,
cameras,
all the stuff that has to come with it, all that stuff.
Like if I could get the PS VR without having the camera always on me, tracking my that'd be better.
Yeah, so I think it's equipment, cost, and then games.
Yeah,
and then things to do with it. I mean, everything. For the most part, there's a stringent formula that is followed in the way these things are made, and nobody has been able to break from that mold of you're either going to just be manipulating stuff with a controller, or you're going to be kind of just sitting back and watching something happen, or it's going to be a QuickTime event type thing, or nobody's found that next step of what you can do in VR just yet. And I don't necessarily know that there is one, but nobody's come along and really dug deep and said, oh, wait, look at what we can do. Star Trek Bridge Crew, I think, is very, very cool if they would highlight more of that. The fact that, and that is, all 3 versions of VR can play with each other in Star Trek Bridge Crew through Ubisoft.
Which is amazing.
Which is fantastic that people on a Vive, people on an Oculus, and people on a PSVR can all play the same game together. They can all be networked and play together, which is fantastic, and I'm glad they were doing that. But nobody else is doing that. Nobody else has that going, and I think more people should. And it allows that basically your Bridge Crew, you've got 5 people playing together, and each body has a role in piloting the ship.
You have your station that you're assigned to.
Yeah, everyone's got their job to do.
Yeah, and then you got the captain to tell each of those people, hey, do this, and then they're supposed to do that.
We've been wanting multi-crew in Sims for a long time.
Right, yeah, and this is one of the things that does that, and I think it's fantastic. So I think there are bits and pieces there that can be discovered of what VR can do, but I don't think there's been that... It hasn't had its modern warfare moment yet, I guess, where it just completely exploded into the zeitgeist, into the must-have type thing, like Modern Warfare. When Modern Warfare released, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the first one.
That changed it. Yeah,
when they released the demo and we were all playing the multiplayer, just the 2 maps or 3 maps, I think it was cycling through, when we were doing that, we were in love. And then when the game came out, that's all we ever did. We just played the multiplayer. Didn't even play the story, but we just kept going back in there. It was an explosion. And then you saw everybody else copying those things of how multiplayer works, of like leveling up, doing this, get perks do things,
and,
all this stuff. Everybody just, let's take the Modern Warfare approach. And VR just hasn't had that happen for them yet. Who's on the phone?
Chris.
It's Chris. Let's go to Chris. Hey, Chris.
What's going on, y'all?
Hey, man. How's it going?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, y'all.
Yeah. So what's up?
Not much. Just wanted to give you an update. I beat the Xenogear, or Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Oh, that was awesome.
Congratulations.
And if anybody's out there besides, of course, you're probably not interested, but anybody else that's been thinking about wanting to get it and they have a Switch,
yeah,
do yourself a favor, go get it. Trust me, you're gonna love it.
How much time did you put into it before you got to the ending?
Well, actually, I've already beat it, and I had about 110 or 120 hours after I beat it, and you can continue playing and, finish quests, do this and that, still have fun, and I've got over 165 hours in it so far.
Mm-hmm.
So how many hours did it show you put into it in going through the main story?
Yeah, the main story and everything was about 120 hours when I beat it. So
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's fun. That's a fun one.
Man. All right. Well, what else? Anything else been going on?
Not much. Just waiting for some new games to be coming out. The Lost Sphere on the 23rd, and then the Seeker of Mana remake on PlayStation 4. I can't wait for that one.
Yeah, RJ was in there asking me earlier before the show started, what are you looking forward to in January, I guess, or this month, beginning of the year, and I was like, man, I don't know of anything coming out. There's the Shadow of the Colossus remake that is due out in February.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that because I'm getting a steelbook with it. That's the only reason I'm getting excited about that, because it comes with a steelbook, which is silly, but
No, if you like it, get it.
well, no, but I'm just saying, I'm trying to think what is a game that's coming out in the next month that I am looking forward to playing, and I can't think of anything, but I feel like I'm forgetting something basically, but I can't think of anything. So,
Except for the ones I mentioned, I can't think of anything either, and I've been thinking, well, I don't feel like playing these no more. Now, when I want to start playing, and in the meantime, till these come out.
when does Monster Hunter World release?
26th.
Of January?
That's what I'm looking at the list here. It says,
Okay.
Monster Hunter World is
Yeah.
the 26th of January.
Like that's not in my wheelhouse, but I was like, that's a pretty big.
Mine either, but
That's
it
a
is-
big
but it's
title.
it's a very popular
Yeah,
game.
yeah, it's a pretty big title. So I mean, that's something to look at.
Were you interested in Yakuza?
No.
Okay, because they had Steelbook deals.
Yeah, I saw that, and I didn't pick it up because I'm just not interested.
I think I picked up the one Yakuza Kiwami. I think I picked up the
Okay.
steelbook for that.
I mean,
of
looking
course-
at it, I mean, I have no connection to that steelbook whatsoever. I don't know the game. I'd be getting it
Because it's
a steelbook, and that is not the reason that I pick up steelbooks. I don't
Right.
pick up steelbooks because they're steelbooks. I pick them up because they are attached to something that I love. They look really nice. And that one had game artwork on it or whatever, or artwork of the characters. I don't know those characters. I don't know them. I have no. There was no connection for me there to that because I've never played the game. So just recently, I picked up a steelbook. It came free with Mario Kart for Switch.
I didn't know they did Steelbook for that.
I know, but they did, and I went and I picked it up. So I have a steelbook for Mario Kart. It's got Mario on the front of it. Sure, there's a connection there. It's a tiny little steelbook for a Switch game.
Tiny.
Well, it's tinier. It's the size of a Switch game case. Have you seen a Switch game case?
Yeah,
Probably
they're
have.
small.
I guess about the size
They
of a
remind me
cell
of the
phone, I guess.
PSP, like the smaller PSP game
Yeah.
cases.
Shorter and narrower.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'd have to look it. You'd have to look it up.
So you got a mini steelbook.
Yeah, little tiny steelbook. But I mean, that's the reason I get steelbooks is because there's a connection, or I want to see the media that's inside of it, and then have it for that. So I don't pick them. I kept seeing that, and it kept dropping in price, and I was like, why not? It's steelbook, and then I had to justify the fact that no, that's not the reason you picked them up. That's
You
not
gotta
the reason
start
you buy them.
somewhere with the series.
No, I don't have interest in it, man. I do not have interest in it.
It's like trying to get me to play Final Fantasy 1. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I don't.
No.
I
There's
know what
none
it
there,
is.
man.
I just can't do it.
There's none
I'd
there.
say
Give it a shot.
Tactics. Go with tactics.
Well, Chris, thanks for making the call, man. We appreciate hearing from you every week, buddy.
yeah.
I also went through Mario Odyssey and beat it, so I feel like I don't know if I want to go back and start playing it more too. But I'm at that point again. So y'all have a good afternoon. We'll talk to you later.
All right, man.
Take
Take
Take care now.
Bye.
We got to take a break. When we come back, we will talk about, I don't know, these other two news items that I've got, 2 or 3 news items, which just ain't much. And yeah, maybe we'll talk about more games that are coming out, that sort of thing. Anyway, sticking with the theme of games, do you want me to do the guessing game again? Do you like
Yeah.
that? Okay.
Name that tune.
Yeah, we'll just do a name that tune on this one. Again, old. I don't know if you can see the screen from there.
No.
If you can see the screen from
I just
there,
see colored blocks.
Yeah, then you
My
probably
eyesight's
know what this
bad.
is. Yeah, you got glasses on. Yeah, so anyway, we'll be back with more of In-Game Chat after this. And welcome back to In-Game Chats. The music you're hearing now comes from the Genesis title Columns.
Yep.
Yeah. The music you heard going into our break earlier was from SimCity on the SNES. I couldn't find original SimCity from like the Mac version or anything. Couldn't find any of the music from that, but the SimCity on SNES is what I used. So I like this. This was the first one. This is what started off. I was looking for music. I was like, I don't have any theme. There hasn't been anything released. What could I go with? And I was like, I was trying to think of like, what's some really fun games that you played? And I started coming up with like Bejeweled and stuff like that.
Oh gosh.
I was like, Columns. So Bejeweled is one I should have picked up. I didn't think about it. But anyway, welcome back to the show. Just a few little news items here. We only got a few more. We got about 20 minutes left in the program, but Mad Catz apparently is not bankrupt anymore. They a year ago they had filed for bankruptcy, which doesn't mean a company is done. It just means they filed
that they're having troubles.
Yeah, exactly. It's something to protect the company, really. And they announced that it is back in business under new management. A team in Asia are now the new owners, and there is a new chief technician officer, an American for this one. Thankfully, this is not a case of a nameless corporation buying the assets and running the brand down. The resurrected Mad Catz will be at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas next week, showing off a range of new peripherals. And these include a new wireless gaming mouse, a new Strike mechanical gaming keyboard, and a new gaming headset, with other new products to be announced. So,
hoping to see their fight sticks back on the
yeah, man.
market.
Peggle would have been a good one to get, too. I didn't even think about Peggle. Lethal Migraine coming in there.
As he does.
Yeah, and good to see him. Good to have him back.
Yeah.
He's been away for a while, so good to have him back.
He's in Ghana.
Which, we're going to be gone next week. Yeah, we're not going to be here next week, so sorry. And then we'll be back for our 500th on the 20th. IGN has fired its editor-in-chief.
Yep.
IGN initiated an investigation. IGN is a gaming news website. Actually, you know what? It's more than that now. It's become this, like,
thing.
It's a catch-all of things. They do movies and comics and a bunch of stuff. And they own Humble Bundle. IGN initiated an investigation into alleged misconduct involving their editor-in-chief. As a result of this investigation, the company has appropriately determined to part ways with that person. His name is Steve Butts. The termination comes just 2 months after former IGN editor Callie Plague, I think I'm saying that completely wrong, came forward with allegations that fellow former editor Vince Ingenetto, anyway, sexual harassment claims in the workplace. Reported it to Human Resources, which is exactly what you should do. The site threatened to fire her if she didn't sign a document saying she had acted inappropriately. The IGN content team released a statement at the time saying they held a difficult but ultimately productive 2-hour meeting voicing concerns with both management. Anyway, he's out. Stephen Butts done. This is how slow the news is as far as having anything. I had, like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4. I had 6 articles, and we have pretty much covered them all with the exception of this one. The Nintendo Switch is now the fastest-selling console in U.S. history. Broke the own record set by the Wii over 10 years ago. The Wii sold 4 million units from its launch to ever how many months it is right now, which I'm not exactly sure how many months it is. The Nintendo Switch in that same amount of time has sold 4.8 million units. Almost 5. So, it is amazing how well that console is doing sales-wise, coming off of a Wii U, You look at the Wii U and how horribly that was done, and then the Switch just... And honestly, I don't even think it's the console. I think it's the games. I think this is a perfect example of where it's not the power of your system, but it's the games that you release. Nobody wants the Switch because it plays Blu-rays, because it watches Netflix. Nobody wants the Switch because it's got Waggle. Nobody wants the Switch because their grandmother can bowl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
think it back to the Atari Jaguar Lynx. Powerful on paper, but when you look at the titles that was on it, you're like, nah. Nothing really exciting. So
Lethal Migraine, I agree with you. Just wanted to throw that out there with his comment there.
Well, like I mean, the Game Gear was more powerful than the Game Boy.
But the Game Boy survived, you know.
I mean, the Game Gear also had worse battery life, but I mean, it didn't have the games. The Game Boy had just like
I'm thinking of the Lynx.
Well, that too, the Atari Lynx.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, just because something is a better system or more powerful system doesn't necessarily make it.
Yeah, what's the point if you don't have the titles? That'll bring.
It also apparently doesn't matter. Well,
the
maybe
Dreamcast.
It might matter in price range.
Yeah.
But we can't really relate that because the Xbox One and the PS4 launched at a much higher price than what the Nintendo Switch is going for.
Yeah.
Yeah, price is a factor. I gotta give you that.
It is a factor, I think, because
Big
then
factor.
you can go in with that. But honestly, I really, really feel like it's the games that sold that console more than anything else.
Yeah.
I don't think it was the price. I think it was the games.
Skyrim. Oh,
Never played it.
What?
I was just joking that Skyrim's on it because what isn't Skyrim on?
Yeah, well,
Smartphones.
started with Legend of Zelda.
Give it a while.
It increased with. I don't want to say it increased with Splatoon or ARMS, but I think Zelda and Mario are the big ones that push that. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 might have had something to do with it as well.
Yeah.
Well, even
Because I don't understand. It's not that I don't understand that fan base. I don't know of that fan base. Like I know Chris is a fan, but I don't.
Well, it's like Monster Hunter. It's a huge title. It's not like you said, not my wheelhouse.
Right.
But I understand it's a big title.
There's a
People
portion of
love
the population, and quite a large one, who is definitely interested.
big
in
into that.
So.
Persona. There.
Yeah, Persona. Yeah.
That's another one.
But yeah, and Lethal Migraine says 2017 was one of the weakest gaming years in probably 2 decades. I don't necessarily know. I kind of agree with you on maybe being a weak gaming year, but I don't necessarily know in probably the past 2 decades.
I mean, it didn't mean we didn't get. I mean, we got some good games. I think this year. AC Origins, I really enjoyed. Was Human? Well, I mean, Mankind Divided. Was that this year or last year? I mean, 17 or 16.
It was 16.
It was 16.
Mm-hmm.
See, I kind of think of Hitman as being. I mean, because it may have started in one, but it continued on throughout, and you got new content in 17. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, what it started off in 16 was.
But the majority of it was released in 2016.
Was it?
Yeah. It released in May of 2016.
Apparently, I'm bad with time.
It was either the first episode was in March or May of 2016.
All right.
And then it was a monthly release after that, or bi-monthly type of release.
I'm just bad with time.
So the majority of that was released in 2016. Because I remember I picked that up, the full season, for the same time I picked up Deus Ex, because GameStop had a price error on Black Friday, and I did not do that this year. I know that happened last year. So, but yeah. So I'm not. It does seem like it was probably. I'm trying to think. Horizon Zero Dawn for PS4 was a big title release.
Yeah.
Cuphead has had a good run there with that one. Nier Automata, that was a December release, wasn't it?
I'm looking up for 2017.
Didn't that release in December
Nier
2016?
Automata was March 7th
of what, this year?
of
last year.
2017.
Of 2017? Was it? It may have been. It may have been.
Yeah.
Last Guardian was December of 2016.
Yeah.
Still haven't played that.
VR. There's VR for it. Yeah.
If only I had a VR headset.
In a statement released today, Nintendo announced that it has sold more than 4.8 million Switch units in the U.S. since the console's launch in March of 2017. They had also set the previous record over 10 years ago with the release of the Wii, and it sold 4 million units in the same amount of time. Fans across the country have experienced the joy of playing their favorite. Reggie Fils-Me. Nintendo claims a strong library of first-party games have helped fuel momentum for the console. More than 60% of Switch owners have Odyssey, and 55% own Breath of the Wild. Not only are these games system sellers, but they're also 2 of the highest-rated games in history. They really are. The company has attributed success to its catalog of more than 300 third-party games.
Wait, Resident Evil 7 was this year? I mean, 2017?
Yeah.
There was a good game.
Nintendo said that Switch owners can expect more Nintendo-published titles such as Bayonetta, Yoshi...
Prey was a great game?
Blarg, blarg, blarg. Prey was this year, yeah. wasn't it?
Yeah, 2017.
Yeah, that was the big Bethesda's big May release. They always have a release in May, and that was their big one. I think it was Bethesda. Let me look. There are people are throwing things out there. Prey, Injustice. See, when it falls into the games that I've played, like I know there's a list of games that released, but for me, when it falls into the games, and this is how it look. This is how I look at it with Lethal Migraine. I didn't play Resident Evil 7. I didn't play Nier. I played Destiny, but I can't say Destiny 2 was a highlight of this past year, even though I put a ton of hours into it. Horizon Zero Dawn I will put up there. Injustice 2 I didn't play. Cuphead I didn't play, but man, it's been bringing in the awards, and it looks really nice. And actually, I did play it in a couple of little, event-type things. But Sonic Mania is a good one to throw in there. I did play that. Well, to go to it, I would say that... I would say for Nintendo, they had the strongest year they've ever had, and that was based on their game releases. Breath of the Wild is apparently a fantastic game, and which you played, Matt, Breath of the Wild.
I did. That
was
fantastic.
You played that on the Wii U.
Uh-huh.
And then Mario Odyssey, which is another fantastic game. So,
I wish I could have played Samus Returns.
I have that, and I haven't started playing it yet.
I'm still wanting to play South Park.
On this trip to San Antonio, I may...
Maybe that would be a good time to do it.
Might be a good time to do it. The flights aren't as long as going to Seattle, but we'll see.
And I still want to get Hellblade. I want to try that one.
I've also got that book that Sarah gave me that I need to read too.
Oh, yeah? Which one?
Blood, Sweat, and Pixels. So... for me, I would say that it was a bad year for me as far as gaming if I didn't play them, yes.
For me, every year is a good year because I always have my backlog of game, it may be new, it may be an older game, but if it's new to me, it's a new experience.
Okay. But we've all got that backlog problem.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of how I would justify this as being... See, it's hard for me to actually, thinking on it, it's hard for me to say it was a bad year and then look at Nintendo and say that, no, they had a great year. Those two games alone were fantastically done, and I think they were...
I would say surprising.
I think they were surprising. I think everybody was very nervous about Zelda after what they had played with Twilight Princess and what they were going to be going through with it. I think a lot of people were nervous about that, but then it was great. After that, I wasn't so nervous about Odyssey.
Okay.
And me liking it because, again, here it is, open world Mario. The last open world Mario I played was Sunshine. I wasn't really big on that. I really wasn't big on that.
And the concept of throwing your hat around to possess people was kind of weird.
Yeah. So, I'm just, I don't know. I don't necessarily know that I would say that it's a bad year when you've got a year like Nintendo had with some great stuff. But the amount of games that I played... For my personal opinion, I think was probably not the best of years.
All right. Well, I have a quick question.
Go ahead.
We have time. Do you guys have anything in your backlog that you haven't played that you want to? They're like, oh, I want to experience this. It may be an older game, so it's not fresh in everyone's mind. But like, you know what? Let me give that a shot.
Nier Automata.
Nier Automata.
Bought the game, haven't started it yet because there was some of the other titles at the time that I was playing. And so it's just been put on the back burner. So I keep hearing how awesome the game is, but I've not even started it. Haven't even loaded it up.
Because one of the ones for me that I did that with was the original Dishonored. I bought it. I tried a level, just whatever, and it was like years later that I'm going to sit down. I'm going to do it, and I was like floored by all right, this was good.
Yeah.
Do you have one, Scott?
Of something in my backlog?
Yeah, that you haven't played that that might pique your interest or
Oh well, I did not.
Or something you'd want to experience.
Yeah, I didn't finish Uncharted Lost Legacy, which was the
Really?
Uncharted add-on thing. Yeah, I didn't.
Okay.
I started that and I never finished it. I mean, I really barely started that.
Okay.
I was waiting for the price to drop on that before I picked it up because I did get Uncharted 4. I got the Uncharted collection on PS4, but then the last one would be the Lost Legacy, and I
need to get that one as well.
I still have Watch Dogs 2 that I haven't played. and that's going back a ways too.
I've heard that was better than the first.
Titanfall 2, I should put more time in.
That was a good one.
These were all last year games.
For one of the ones I want to just sit down and get into would be Wasteland 2.
Yeah.
That's
I really want to get back into City Skylines and start a new city and get going with that.
I would watch that.
Yeah.
If you stream that again.
I really want to get back into that and do.
That was fun to watch.
Yeah, it was fun to play.
In a weird way. That like
really relaxing and fun to
Yeah.
play, and I haven't done that in a while.
Planning, building, setting things up, all that good
That
stuff.
happened. That hit me when I was looking for music for SimCity, and of course I type in SimCity music, and it showed me the old or not the old one, but the most recent SimCity that was released, and I listened to that music, and I was like, oh, that's great. And then there was City Skylines. I listened to some of that, and I was like, I kind of want to be back in that world.
I think I might want to redo Stardew Valley and start up a new farm and like stream that.
Mhm.
You know, just stream here's me just farming.
Well, Neo Automata was just something I have to start, but there's plenty of titles that I've got to finish. Neo is one of them. Neo, Cuphead, and Sonic Mania are the ones that come to mind that I have to finish. I mean, well off into Sonic Mania, but I just haven't finished it yet. I think I'm on the next to last stage on there. So, but between that and the other titles, finishing up is something I want to take care of.
Yeah. I can't think of anything else in my. I mean, there's a lot in my backlog. I mean, I've got triple digits of titles in my Steam category. That there's a ton there.
What are you at? 750, 800?
I don't know what I'm at.
No, I mean not to mention your PS Plus.
I mean, there's tons. I mean, there is a lot of games that could keep me busy. There's no problem with that. But, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I've got. We are not going to be here next week, so just keep that in mind. And then when we come back,
in 2 weeks on the 20th?
On the 20th.
We'll be all dressed up.
In our birthday suits, right?
We'll be our 500th.
We said, just suits, not birthday suits?
I Sarah's coming for that. I know Nate will be here for that. James is going to try and come in for that as well.
Okay.
I would like Jeremy to show up.
I can understand why if he can't.
It's Becky's birthday, but he got engaged to her on this show.
We'll just have to remind him
So bring them both.
True. Although if it's your birthday, do you want to spend it on someone else's? I don't know.
Dennis brought us a cake for our 300th.
Yeah.
So I'd like him to be here. Kevin's got to drive, even though I know James has to drive too, because he's in Wisconsin right now.
Yeah.
But so James got a long drive as well. But Kevin's got to drive just from Georgia to be on here. So I would hope that he would come in as well.
Mm-hmm.
Moltal, if you could fly in from Ireland, dude.
You could drive from Ireland.
If you could fly in, you're on it. And Spigot from Canada, if he could if he could fly down and do that. So,
but yeah, we will be 500, the big 500.
Yeah, the big 500 500 episodes. That's on the 20th. So, not next week. Week after next. No show next week. Going to be running a replay of some sorts. I might try and run the 300th episode that we did next week. The problem with that is that we didn't have any commercial breaks during those. With the exception of one at the top of the hour, that was it. And so I'd have to chop some. I'd have to chop some stuff out of that to make it fit in for time. So, yeah. So anyway, I think that's going to do it. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to be playing. Obviously, I'm not going to be playing a lot next week as far as anything that I know of. I'll be playing stuff on show floor. I might put in some time on Destiny maybe on Tuesday. I don't necessarily know because I'll need to be getting ready for a very early flight the next morning.
Yeah.
So what are you guys going to be doing?
We'll be sure and keep you up Tuesday night. Hey, Scott, do a strike with us.
You know I don't do that stuff anyway. You know I don't do that stuff as it is.
Oh, come on. You don't have to work tomorrow.
Yeah, no. You know I don't. I don't know. What will you guys be playing next week? More the same?
Yeah, Destiny, Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
I might start definitely the Elusive Target.
Okay.
And Hitman, and maybe finish out that Deus Ex.
What do you got, RJ?
More building up in Destiny 2, of course, and then I'm probably going to start up a little bit of
more
Street Fighter 5.
I was going to say more fighting games, yeah.
Yeah, because like I said, the arcade edition is going to be dropping 16th, so get a little more practice time in with that, and whatever else just comes to mind, I guess.
All right. Well, like I said, for me, it won't be much of anything because of I'll be out of town. I will try and play a bunch of games while I'm at PAX South again. It depends on the turnout for this because I have no idea how this is going to look. It's already looking slim and thin, so I may only have stories of San Antonio rather than stories of PAX South. Anyway, thanks everybody for joining us in the chat room and everybody listening on the stream and on the radio. Thanks to everybody who grabs each week from iTunes or however you get our show for later use. We do appreciate that very, very much. You've given us 499 episodes, so thank you. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for continuing to tune in and to listen to this and to
support us,
interact and support and everything else that you guys do to keep us going with this. I'll have more to say about that next time we're here. Go to ingamechat.net. You can join us on Twitter, Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can subscribe to our Twitch channel. If you're on Steam, join our Steam group. We've got a Discord, which I may or may not put into our little box at the top left of our website so people can join in there if they'd like to as well. But yeah, we're all over the place. Just look for In-Game Chat anywhere you go. Thanks, everybody. Have a fantastic next 2 weeks, and we will see you Saturday after next. Here's music from Zuma, by the way. Zuma Deluxe.
Zuma.
It's deluxe.